At the end of a long, hard day, resting your head against a cool pillowcase and curling up can feel like the ultimate escape. But for parents with babies, the nighttime hours can mean a torturous ordeal, replete with middle-of-the-night wake-ups and screaming fits that can last hours. And as Juju Chang found out, some bleary-eyed moms and dads will try and spend anything for a little peace and quiet.
Two-year-old Mia isn't screaming because she's sick or hurt. In fact, just minutes before, she was happily reading and playing downstairs. She just doesn't want to go to sleep. Her parents, Danielle and Marcello, do this terrible tango every night.
Let's go night-night.
We're up anywhere from like 3 to 6 times a night.
And Mia isn't the only problem. They also have a 9-month-old baby, Emily, who also doesn't sleep. Between the two children, Danielle and Marcello are up almost all night long.
I get anywhere from like 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night, and it's not like consecutive sleep. I would appreciate it if it was consecutive. I think that would even be better.
You're talking about 30 minutes here and 30 minutes there.
Yeah.
You know that there are Geneva Conventions against what you're doing, which is sleep deprivation.
A typical night for the family goes something like this. They put Mia down at 7:30, which can quickly become 8:30.
We have to sit there and we have to hold her hand, and you know, it's a whole process. It could take anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour.
Once Mia finally does fall asleep, she doesn't stay that way long.
Between midnight and 2 a.m., 1 or 2 a.m., she's screaming so loud that A, I'm afraid she's going to wake Emmy up. And B, I'm afraid she's gonna hurt herself. So at that point, the only thing that consoled her in the past was giving her a bottle and bringing her to bed with us.
Meanwhile, Emily isn't sleeping like a baby either. She is often up 3 or 4 times during the night. Danielle and Marcello both work full time, and they're both at their breaking point.
How much would you pay to get your life back, is the question.
I was just telling, I was telling one of the producers, I would give up my life savings at this point.
So they're giving in and paying up by turning to an increasing trend among exhausted parents, a paid sleep consultant. Enter Dream Team Baby. Connor Herman and her colleague Kira Ryan come into families' homes and take back the night.
So glad to meet you.
Sleep training small children is a booming business. The Dream Team charges close to $2,000 for an overnight stay like this and follow-up consultations, though they did not charge Marcello and Danielle for agreeing to let Nightline tell their story. Their method is simple yet controversial. Let your child cry, no matter how painful it is to hear. Tonight, the Dream Team is actually going to spend the night on the floor in Mia's room. Step number 1, black out the windows so the room is completely dark. Step number 2, turn on a sound machine to drown out any noise.
This is white noise.
And number 3, the hardest, put the baby to bed and walk away.
We really believe that after 4 months, children are ready to be successful at sleeping through the night.
To prepare Mia for what's in store, she's been reading a book on the iPad about a little baby bear who goes to sleep all on her own.
Baby bear goes in the crib all by herself.
But the book probably didn't prepare her for this. One goodnight kiss from Mommy.
And just like the book, Mommy thinks that you're a big girl and you can stay in your crib and put yourself to sleep all by yourself.
And then Daddy puts her to bed.
Let's lay her down, cover her up, and stay in the
What happens next is not for the faint of heart.
Love you.
After about 20 minutes, which for Danielle and Marcello feels like an eternity, Mia finally falls asleep.
So tell me what you were experiencing when that was happening.
So anxious because I wanted to be with Mia, and Emily was crying.
But over the course of the night, she wakes up 4 more times.
I feel bad. I feel like she's helpless right now.
Mommy's bed. Mommy's bed. I mean, how could you not bring her in when she's asking for Mommy's bed?
But sticking with the Dream Team's plan, they do not go to her until 7:30 a.m.
You see, Mia, I knew you could do it.
Yes.
She good. Girl, and you're gonna teach Emmy how to do it because you're the big sister.
Soon after, she is happily playing. The cry it out method is much debated, even though a recent 5-year study in the journal Pediatrics showed that letting a baby cry caused no long-lasting physical or psychological harm. Some parents and doctors think it can potentially leave babies feeling abandoned and helpless.
As a mother who let the baby cry it out, what's wrong with letting them do that if it teaches them how to self-soothe and go to sleep?
Well, I would think of crying it out in a kind of a similar way to spanking. Spanking can work. A lot of people will tell you that's the best thing. That's what worked for their kids. But it fundamentally doesn't feel right, and it teaches them the wrong message.
Dr. Harvey Karp is the author of the Happiest Baby on the Block books and DVDs.
When your child cries, maybe they're yanking your chain, maybe they're just in the habit, but maybe they're in distress.
But the Dream Team stands by its philosophy that short-term, controlled crying is the best way to achieve long-term sleep success.
A good night's sleep is a great, yummy, wonderful thing, and that's what you're going to be giving to your child. Then it's something to celebrate.
2 weeks after the intervention with Mia, the team's methods seem to have paid off. Miraculously, Mia is sleeping 12 hours a night and going to bed without a peep.
Okay. Good job. Night night. Okay.
Emmy, however, is a work in progress.
That's the hard part.
But 10 minutes later, she too goes to sleep all on her own,
So it's 7:37, and it would appear as though everybody's sleeping right now.
giving Danielle and Marcello the first quiet time they have had in months. We checked in with them 6 months after their experiment in sleep training began, and both Emmy and Mia are still sleeping through the night.
I want you to.
The couple say sleep training has been life-changing.
And we actually have lives. Like, I can make plans after 7:30 at this point.
For now, it's sweet dreams for everyone.
The girls are healthier, they're happier.
Yeah, correct.
It's just, I can't even imagine a time when we didn't have it like this.
For Nightline, I'm Juju Chang in Howard Beach, New York.